Just pushed it. It says we're live.
Yay.
It says we're live.
It says waiting for Autistic Jenny on my phone. I refreshed my
microphone?
Screen.
Is it working now?
Yes, we're here.
We're here.
And Hunter's here.
I want to see people's comments. Hunter here?
Yes, Hunter says, hi, everyone.
Okay.
Yay.
Hi, Hunter. I can't see your comments. I have the free version of StreamYard, but I'm glad you're here.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank you for joining this live stream. This is the first one I've done in like a year. And I've got two special guests. I want them to introduce themselves. You probably already know them if you've been on this channel long enough. So we'll start with MJ.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. This is 5 o'clock in the evening for me, so I've already done my day. But the sun has only just made an appearance.
You want to tell everybody where you're from, MJ?
I'm from Bonnie, Scotland. I've not got a strong enough accent, but I definitely sound different from you guys.
I could listen to you talk all day. I love your accent.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So, Lisle, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Lisle, and I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I'm delighted to be with you all. MJ, Jenny, so happy to be here. And with all of you who are listening or watching later.
Absolutely. We've been planning this for a really long time, haven't we?
Jenny, are you able to see the comments?
I am if I get my phone and look at it.
Okay. So we've got
I know now that the free version does not have the option to see it on the screen. So
Rex has joined us and Helen Askew's joined us. Hi, guys.
Hello. Thanks for being here. We're going to be talking about something really exciting to autistic people, and that's special interests. So, and we also want to know about your special interests. So as we're talking, feel free to chat with each other, get to know each other, tell us what interests you have, share those with us. We'll also be answering some questions in a little bit and chatting with you in between as we can. So my first question is going to be, all right, what's a special interest that you had as a kid that you still secretly or not so secretly love today? Whoever wants to start with that one.
Lisle, I'll let you go first.
Me? Okay. Well, for me, it's classic Winnie the Pooh. I grew up with classic Winnie the Pooh before Disney, and I had this huge Winnie the Pooh coloring book. And a couple months ago, I went on this archaeological dig in the universe to try to find the Winnie the Pooh coloring book I had, and I found it. It's this Winnie the Pooh coloring book, but I can't get myself to color in it because it's just too precious to me. So I love classic Winnie the Pooh. I've got classic Winnie the Pooh bookends and rubber stamps that I use in my art.
Well, I certainly didn't know that about you, Lisle. That's awesome. Did you hear about the Winnie the Pooh characters, how they have come out and said that they are of different like neurotypes and things, like one of them's ADHD, one of them's autistic, one of them's bipolar. Have you seen that post talking about that? It's pretty interesting, I thought. I don't know if when they made the characters, that's what they were thinking, but I thought it was interesting.
I don't think A.A. Milne had that in mind, but he definitely had like the diversity of people, because you see different personality traits in all of the characters for sure.
Absolutely. That's one I grew up with too. All right, I'll talk about some special interests I had as a kid. It's been photography since pretty much the beginning, being in the 4-H club and photographing my horse with the cat sitting on top and getting a ribbon for that, and just photographing from the very beginning. You know, back before you didn't have digital cameras, you know, you had to send the film off and wait, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks to see what you filmed. Things are so much easier now with our cameras. But even more than that, I've gotten more lazy. And so now I just do photography through my phone pretty much. But every once in a while, I'll get my camera out to take some photos. So it's really been photography my whole life. In fact, when I was in the 5th grade, I made a pinhole camera for a science project, which I thought was pretty cool to make a camera from scratch. But for me, it's always been photography.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool how advanced we've got with technology, with taking photos. Back in the day, it was like you get your family portrait or your professional portrait done, and now it's like anyone can take photos of absolutely anything. I think it's incredible. You can capture any moment.
It isn't pretty incredible. And I think a lot of people don't even print pictures up like they used to. You know, everything is digital. It's on our computer, it's on our phone. Do you guys find that you like to print photos and hang them on your wall?
Yeah, I'm traditional that way.
Sometimes, and in my letters to people, sometimes I'll print up some photos.
The special ones, right?
Yeah.
Like this one I have in my kitchen. This is one of my photo composites of my granddaughter, and it's one of my favorites. So I made an effort to hang that one up in the kitchen because I really love it. Okay. Does any of our viewers had any questions? MJ, you're on the chat. I can't seem to pull it up on my phone. I'm having all kinds of technical issues, so I can't see the comments right now.
We've got Gemma and we've got Shannon. Sharon's joined, so there's a few extra.
Hi guys, thanks for being here.
Gemma says she still takes print pictures out. I will say my childhood interest. So I think Disney's always been like a love of mine. Like I love all the old classic Disney films, and I listen to classical Disney music constantly. And another one from my childhood is probably the Titanic. Like I'm obsessed and I've always had like a love for Titanic. It kind of goes under the radar, and then as soon as someone mentions it or I see something, I'm like back straight into it and down that rabbit hole once again. And it's just something that's always been fascinating to me, the whole history of the Titanic. Thought I'd say that before anyone jumps in the chat. Have you got the chat, Jenny?
No, I can't see the chat. For some reason, my screen is not showing the chat.
So I don't have my phone, but I can go grab it if you want, MJ, if you want help with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not great at like listening and reading, so it would be great if two of us could
All right, I'm going to go get my phone.
Okay, she's going to go grab her phone. Y'all, this is the first time I have done a live stream in a year. I'm trying StreamYard. You can see the logo because I haven't paid for it yet. I just want to see how it goes today. If I like this, then I will keep on using it and get the paid version. I just realized there's 13 people on here.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. So we are talking about special interests. If y'all can comment on what those interests were for you as a child. I want to know, did you outgrow those interests, or are you still into those things that you were into as a child? It's amazing how they can impact us our entire life. And we'll be talking about some of our current hobbies too, me and Lisle and MJ.
Yay. MJ, are you following the chat that's right on YouTube?
Yeah, just go on Jenny's channel. Well, it might be on your homepage already.
Hopefully. I'm just going to say something and see if you can see mine, because recently I was on somebody's and I was chatting somewhere else, right, Hunter? Where I was supposed to be.
Paul W says, "What you think autism itself can be a special interest?" Oh, for sure. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all interested in that. That's
If
for
it's not your special interest, that's a weird one.
MJ, can you see where I wrote hello?
Yeah, you come up now.
Okay, good. I'm on then. Hi, everybody. Look at, we have so many wonderful people with us. Yay.
And I would like to add, to have a YouTube channel, I think your interest that's about autism, that is definitely a special interest for me. So all my video topics tend to be on autism. So that's definitely a special interest of mine as well.
We're trying to get to know ourselves and understand ourselves and accept ourselves, you know? So I think that that's a huge dive in for us.
For sure. I don't know where I would be without the YouTube community. Like, I have learned so much through you guys, and having a channel, it just, doing the research to do a video, I'm always learning something, and there's so much to learn about autism. Okay, so what I want to talk about next was, what are some of you guys' current special interests? Lisle or MJ, if you want to share, I'll start. So what I'm into right now, besides photography, I'm liking doing macro photography just through my cell phone. I am also into herbal medicines. So I am learning about medicine through, plants, things we have in our yard and things in the field. And I find it fascinating. And I just want to grow my own medicine sometimes. I am excited to plant some of these seeds. I'm at the very beginning of this journey. So what I'm doing when I'm not filming videos or I'm not editing videos is I'm watching YouTube videos. I've got some catnip here, MJ.
Hey!
I've heard that people can have this in a tea as well. I thought it was just for cats, but hey, don't go have some catnip unless you find out for sure, because I'm still learning about this. I don't think they would have sent it to me if people couldn't consume it, though.
Yeah. Speaking of tea, have you got your tea, Jenny?
Do what?
What are you drinking this morning? Sorry.
Whispering wildflowers.
Ooh.
With L-theanine.
You've had that before, haven't you? Like on your channel.
I just bought a new one yesterday. I went to Whole Foods and they had dandelion leaf and root tea, and I love that. It's good for your kidney health. It's a good detox. I try to drink it at least every other day, but that's one that I really love. I know y'all aren't both, I think, tea drinkers. Y'all drink some other things. What's your favorite beverage?
MJ, what's your favorite beverage, dear?
So I love a chai latte, and I've only just discovered chai lattes recently. And it's so nice going to a coffee shop and not just getting a hot chocolate, because I can't stand coffee. And I'm not willing to get a tea in a coffee house because I feel it's such a waste of money. So I have discovered chai lattes, and that's what I'm drinking right now.
Ooh la la.
Nice.
That's yummy.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is cocoa coffee with almond milk and whipped cream. And I drink it all day. And I try to drink my water too.
Yes.
That sounds pretty yummy. All right, I've got a second question if y'all ready to answer another question.
Yeah.
And in the chat, y'all can also answer this question. We'd love to read what you say. The question is, if you could give a TED Talk tomorrow with zero prep, what would it be about? This is one I've been thinking about. And I would say, some of you know that I have an Etsy shop. And I've been doing that for about 2 years. So I think I would give a TED Talk on making digital downloads and how to have it as a passive income. I would do one about that, or either about composite photography, intro class to composite photography. What about you guys?
I really would have no great topic to talk about at a TED Talk, if I'm being honest. I think I'm very much I don't believe my own knowledge. I don't believe my own understanding of things. If someone challenges me, I'm like, oh, they must be right. I don't know if anyone relate to that. So it would probably be autism, because that, like Paul says, it's a special interest of ours. And I could bring up information without needing to research it and make sure I'm backing myself and make sure I've got my sources correct. Like autism, you can just speak straight from the soul because we live it every day. So yeah, that would just be my normal topic.
So, MJ, I would definitely want you to talk about that. I remember how you hooked me in to your channel when I first discovered it, because you were sharing about your lived experience growing up so transparently, and it was so it was so moving and upsetting. And I think, there's so many people who are autistic that experience the kind of things that you did. And, I could see you doing a TED Talk that includes your history and just how evil it is to other people who are different. Yeah. Yeah. I think
I really related to a lot of MJ's content on her channel. I especially enjoyed the one about what she was like in school. Like, I think many of us could relate to that.
Yeah, for sure. So, some of you know that I'm a therapist and a counselor educator. And so if I did a TED Talk, I would want to talk about my new interest area in autism research and scholarship. Sorry to be nerdy, but which is, like, we've all heard about alexithymia, which is, that autistic people and other neurodivergent communities of people have difficulty recognizing, labeling, and knowing what we feel. And that is really, that's really disabling to not, we know what we feel, but we get so hyper aroused by the world. Well, there's another level to that Michelle Garnett talks about, and it's called Alexa persona. And it is the tendency for autistic people, when they're in social situations, to lose their sense of self and to start feeling the feelings and needs and, of other people. And when I came across it, I was fascinated by it because I could really relate to that. And I wonder if some of you can relate to that too. And so in the TED Talk, I would talk about that. And then I would talk about ways we can encourage one another through forums like this to do what we need to do to regulate our nervous system so we can stay grounded in who we are. That's what I would talk about, Jenny and MJ.
That would be a very interesting topic. I'm sure many of us would be interested in that. For sure. There's so much to learn about autism. I'm just always blown away. Every time I think I know about everything, I know nothing.
Yeah, there's someone autistic. There's holistic people out there who think they know everything about autism, right? And I'm like,
it's such a mystery, really. You know what I mean? But there's such disabling and othering verbiage out there about us, and it's really shaming. Here we are with all of you listening, and I'm looking at your live chats. Thank you for your acknowledgement there about that topic. But I feel that if we didn't have this like YouTube community where we humanize one another and see each other as we are, I don't know what I would do. It's really hard when out there in the culture they're talking about, how do we cure autism, instead of the fact that we're just such a mystery and beautiful in our own right and different, but certainly on the human spectrum. So, yeah. For sure.
That is a good point. Other people think they know so much about autism. That's a whole nother topic. I think we should do another live stream about. I could go down a rabbit hole on RFK. I'm not going to do that here. I'm not going to do it here. I've already made a video about that.
But that's frightening. That's really frightening.
Yeah.
And it gives the wrong message to everybody. And it makes us afraid to tell people and to be proud of who we are because of that kind of narrative that's out there.
But that's why we have to keep speaking up, I feel like. Because if we don't speak up, people won't know.
Right.
And it's harder to do in your personal life. For me at least, I'm going to say I'm getting there, but I'm not there 100%.
Oh, it's definitely hard. It's much easier with people who you've just met, who don't know your history, who've never seen you mask. It's so much
Right.
easier with new people, but yeah, with people.
Emily, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It is easier with people we don't know, and it's hardest with family, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like I mask with some members of my family more than others, and I don't know why that is.
I think we want to be loved and included and approved of by our family. That's like deep inside of us. And we don't trust that they're going to, see us in a good way if they know.
That's true. We have to be around them more. Does anybody have a question in the chat that y'all see, or any comments? Would love to hear you guys' comments. I can't see them on the screen, but I'm so glad y'all are talking amongst yourselves. And next time I do a live stream, I'll have the paid version of this so I can see your chats.
Gemma says she's proud to be autistic. And Sharon says, me too. And so does Hunter. And yeah, that's right. We can feel proud. Scared of telling. Paul says for a long time he was scared of telling coworkers, but he realized he was scared about how they would react. Yeah.
Absolutely. I will say, Paul, that in my office, everyone knows I'm autistic, and that brings a sense of relief for me because I feel like I don't have to mask as much, although I find myself still masking even around them. I feel like they can understand my quirkiness at times, my lack of motivation to socialize with the group. So for me, I'm glad I told them in my office, but that's a choice for you. But yeah, it's definitely not easy to do sometimes. And it depends on who you work with. And it depends on how much you like your boss, how comfortable you feel telling your boss too. All right, I've got a third question talking about the special interests here. So, and y'all can answer this one also in the live chat. So what's something people don't expect to be a special interest of yours, but totally is for you? Now, I'm hoping that MJ will talk about her adorable cat. You got to mention the cat.
So I didn't expect to be a cat person, but as I've joined YouTube, I have discovered there's a lot of autistic YouTubers that have cats, and I'm like, what is this? Like, people are saying that cats are autistic. So I was like interested in this, and I went on a bit of a journey with thinking, maybe I want a cat, maybe it's too much responsibility. And I thought a cat would be much better than a dog because I have too much trauma with dogs anyway, and dogs are very tying, so you feel more responsibility for them. But like the idea of getting a pet has been so scary for me. And we went on a huge journey, my husband and I, and we eventually did get little Topaz. She's a year old and we bought her just from another couple. And she is, oh my goodness, the best thing in the world. She's so beautiful. She has a grey coat and the most piercing orange eyes I've ever seen. And she is just, I'm obsessed with her. And I didn't think I would ever be the kind of person that got obsessed with a pet. But yeah, currently, I mean, we've only had her for 3 months, so it's still the honeymoon phase, I guess. But she eats better than us. We buy like the most expensive food for her. We've got all these play toys for out in the garden. She's an indoor cat, but we expose her to the garden. And yeah, like I bought this camera so I could watch her when I'm away at work or at a friend's house. And yeah, my whole day is around what's Topaz doing? Is she happy? Is she excited? So.
Wow, that sounds a lot like my husband and his current hobby of bird watching. He's got cameras over every bird feeder, and he can be at work and press a button and see what the birds are doing at the bird feeder. And we all get notifications when there's birds there.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool. I'm happy to know about that because I'm going to get one of those cameras so I could watch Bella when I'm not here.
Yeah. Well, it didn't cost very much, and it's just something that it has to be plugged in though. That's the annoying thing. I wish it was battery operated and I can put it anywhere, but I have to consider where the cable is so that she doesn't choose the cable. But yeah, you can you can move around, you can like go up and down. I just love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Lisa, are you going to tell us about your wonderful pet?
Oh, I will. Okay. I was going to talk about something else, but because everybody knows about how obsessed I am with Bella, my bunny, my lap bunny. But I'm obsessed with Bella, my lap bunny. She's the softest thing. We lay on the floor together and she flaps next to me and on top of me and purrs. Yes, bunny purr. They purr like this.
So
It's so sweet.
Wait, show me again. I missed that.
They go like that because, you know, they don't make any noise.
Yeah.
They're absolutely quiet. But I'm also really into bunnies at large. So I put two loves of mine together, which is one is running in nature and the other is spotting wild bunnies. So today I went on a long run to a near kind of farmland. I saw 17 bunnies and a fox. That fox was a little bit threatening to me, but yeah, that was fun. So I'm really, really into Bella. She's really my best friend, I have to say, notwithstanding David the Prince.
So what was the hobby you were going to talk about, if not Bella?
Okay, really quick. The hobby I was going to talk about is I collect young people. I collect young people to be pen pals with. And I love being close to people's hearts and encouraging people to be themselves and to know themselves and to feel safe being themselves. So I have all kinds of young people that I write to. And so I collect up stickers and rubber stamps and lots of colors, and I do art and I pen pal with people of all ages. So MJ and Jenny, if you want to be my pen pal.
We kind of are electronic pen pals.
Would love to have you write some of our seniors. You know, sometimes they get lonely, they don't get company, and that's awesome. And you're really good at what you do, Lisle, there as well. Has anybody in the comments said what their current hobby is? MJ, if you're reading those comments.
Aw, Sharon had a bunny growing up.
I had a bunny growing up too.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Now I'm looking at the comments and Paul, I could so see that happening to me. If I'm somewhere and I'm looking at Bella and she looks lonely or something is going on, Paul says, you know, he cried because his dog was looking at the door for like 20 minutes after he left.
Oh.
I would die. I would leave wherever I was and go home. So that's a good. Bella the Beautiful, Hunter said. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And Gemma collects Elvis Presley items. That is so cool.
Who does?
Gemma.
Gemma. Okay. I thought you were going to mention Gemma there. I knew she collected Elvis.
Oh my goodness. And Helen, excuse me. She had, when she had her children, she had 2 chickens. That's cool.
Okay.
I wonder, Helen, if you got eggs from your chickens.
We had chickens for a short time, like a season, but they got to where they could fly over the netting we had, even though it was pretty tall. And then predators were getting them one by one. But we tried the whole chicken thing. It was pretty cool to go in there and get your own eggs for breakfast. In fact, the kind of chickens we had were called Easter eggers kind of chickens. But I don't think I'll try chickens again.
No.
Not for me.
Why were they called Easter eggers?
I don't know. They're just apparently different kinds of chickens.
Maybe they lay colored eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, their eggs had a tint. Don't ask me how that happens. I don't know, but their eggs had a tint of greenish, like green to them.
That's probably why.
But they tasted good. They tasted good.
Yeah, I bet. There's nothing like farm eggs.
Absolutely.
The color of the eggs, Nessie said. That's why.
Thank you, Nessie.
Cats and Bet Klopt.
Oh, cats. I call her cats.
Cats. She says she does the average boring stuff like crafting, gaming, reading, consuming media. That's awesome stuff.
I don't think that's boring. I think that's awesome.
Doesn't involve people. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can I just show Topaz because she's on my lap?
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't have to be obsessed too.
We love
Oh, you've got Topaz.
Oh.
Eyes, because your eyes.
Is she as soft as she looks?
She's softer, and you know what? The softest bit is right under, like this bit. Oh my goodness!
Just where you want to pet her too.
Aw.
Little heart is. Hi, Topaz. Yeah, her eyes are really beautiful.
She's got you wrapped around her finger, doesn't she?
She knows who feeds her. Yeah.
Well, okay, to wind this down, I had one more thing I wanted to mention was the coming up July Creator Collab. So what the topic is going to be, drums, it's going to be autistic people and work. Wait, yeah, how autistic people work and autism. I'll have to come up with the title, but this one, Neurodivergent, Jen from Neurodivergent came up with that theme. I was trying to come up with another one for July, and we thought that'd be a good one. That's not a topic I've covered as far as a creator collab. So get ready to join that one in July. If you working somewhere, would love to have your video clip on that. Those are always so much fun, aren't they, Lisle and MJ? We enjoy chatting during the premiere. It's a lot of fun.
It sure is. Autistic Tech says they can't wait. And Katz says that her cat is mad about her. I think her, right? I just used the vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
Oh, is mad. You mean mad at you? Or she used the vacuum cleaner?
Our dog doesn't like that at all.
Did you ever see the cat video that one of my friends sent me? Or maybe it was one of you, one of my dear friends, of the cats sneezing, reacting to the sneezing. Was that you, MJ, who posted that to us? That was
I think I did.
The way that the cat reacted. Does your cat act that way, MJ, if you sneeze?
I tried it. You know, I did a fake sneeze, nothing happened. And then when I did eventually sneeze around her, I watched her and she was just like not bothered. So I don't know if it's specific breeds or specific pitch of sneezing. Don't know. It didn't work for my cat anyway.
Have you seen the cat videos where people put a cucumber by a cat that doesn't know it's going to be laying there, and when the cat sees it, it jumps? You should try that one, MJ. Let us know how that one goes.
No, I never saw that. I can hardly watch bunny videos because half the time the bunny is getting hurt, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. And I'm like, I do not want to see a bunny getting hurt.
No.
That is wrong.
How old is Bella again?
Bella is going to be 3.
Oh, she's a young one.
No, may she live forever.
Absolutely.
You guys will have to come all the way here to Virginia and peel me off the floor if anything ever happens to Bella. Let me just tell you, and all you people
imagine.
Do.
Well, are there any final comments in the chat before we wrap this up? Before we all say our byes and thank everybody for coming?
Anybody have a question, comment, or other thing that they want us to talk about? Why get your cat a shock? Right.
Would you like us to do this again?
Yeah, would you like us to do this again? You should poll, Jenny, questions.
I don't think I can do that on StreamYard. I need to learn more about this. Maybe
but
when
you can do it. No, I mean like on your YouTube comment.
Yeah.
Area. I mean posts. We can.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Put it on the community tab. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
I mean, who's going to say no?
Who's going to say no, right? They've been here this whole time, so apparently you've enjoyed it. I'm so grateful.
I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Definitely do it again. Autistic Tech says.
Yay.
Oh no, 17 cats. Kat's cat is going to be 17.
Wow. That's amazing.
Love the sense of community. I know, Paul. We do too. We do too, Jenny. Thank you. Jenny, you rock. Let's just say you rock. You do so much to support us, bringing us together. And now this, it's just so awesome.
I want to do this more, and I'm grateful. Everyone that's on my channel, everyone I've met in this community, I know we're all grateful for each other. To me, it is like social media. In fact, I hardly ever look at my Facebook. This is where I go to socialize.
I know Facebook makes me feel, when I look at all the comments of the people I've known forever and ever, it just makes me feel like I am such a weirdo. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't know that. Oh, I didn't even think of that. You know, all the things that, you know, neurotypical people do. I just have no interest in, sadly, for
Absolutely.
my family.
Well, you're amongst friends here, Lisle.
Aw. Okay. Let's see if it makes hearts come out. It doesn't. You know how it does that on Zoom? It makes.
I never knew that.
So if you enjoyed this live stream, would you please leave a heart? We would appreciate it to know that you enjoyed it, and I hope to do this again, get more comfortable with it. This has been great. I've enjoyed spending time with my friends, the ones in the chats and the ones here. So thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for your love. We thank you. Can I thank you some more? Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
All right. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.